Hey guys, Aaron here. Um, yeah, so I'm planning to redo all my water cooling build in my main system next week. I've got some new tubing and stuff coming. We're coming into summer here in Australia, and this the setup that I did have previously wasn't really going to be adequate for summertime. I was basically just using my 280 mm rad in the front of the case, and I just had the CPU water cooled. I've only recently picked up a block for the video card, but I wanted to put my other radiators back in the case, and I've been sort of, because I really love these SR2 black Hardware Labs radiators because they're really thick and they're very like a low fin density, which means you can run really low RPM fans, and these things are amazing. Probably some of the best radiators I think I've ever used. But as you can see, I've got a 240, a 120, and then a 280, and I've been like swapping these things all around inside of here, trying to work out how to do the runs, because I wanted to put my little Resident Evil thing back in here as well. So I had a proper little tube res in there, and I've been like going crazy thinking what I want to do, how to run the tubes. And so I think I've finally cracked it, and I want to see what you guys think of my tubing runs, because I think it's going to be pretty DIY. But anyway, so obviously you got reservoir goes straight to the pump. So you've got, oh, you can't really see it too well, but there's like two fittings just here, 1 and 2. So the right side one here will go straight down into the pump. It'll then go from the pump out into the GPU, around the GPU, out into the CPU, out of the CPU, and into the 280 mm radiator here on the bottom. However, it's not going to come out of the bottom here because this is in the way. It's going to come out of the end of there, go down and run along behind here, all the way down, loop down around the bottom, come back up and go into here. It's then going to go. Now I've actually got, years ago I picked up these little, they're designed for SLI video cards. When you've got like water blocks like this, let's say you have like a block and then a block here and a block here, and you had just had like little tiny hardline fittings basically, where you had like a little compression fitting and or little like hardline tube, fitting, and then you had like a bit of plastic you just squeeze them together, and it's like hardline tubing essentially. But it's a mini version. I'm going to do that between there and there, so like this one, that one there, and there. So I'm going to have this radiator go down all the way around, out the top into the bottom of the 240, the 280, the 120, loop around, and then this one is then going to come back out, and it's so like these two, even though this one's in, this one's out, so they're both going to come out down, and so this one will come out and basically trace along the same path that this one's going up, down, loop around, and it'll go then back in and up to there, completing the loop. So let me run through that again. Reservoir, right side, into the pump, down, into the block, up, into the block, out, into there, out of there, and down along the back. So it'll just like curve down around and go down along behind the radiators there, all the way down the bottom. And then where those little cables are, it's going to sort of then curve around there, as in like around the back there, curve around the front here, and then it's going to come up and go into there. The two radiators will be linked in between on this side with the little like hardline tubing bit. So the water will then loop around through this one, then it'll come out of this, and it'll basically trace along the path like that. It'll come down and curve around, but it'll then loop up and go back into there. It's like the only way. I mean, there's probably other ways that I could do it. I do soft tubing, by the way. I'm not doing hardline. Just so if you're wondering why I'm describing the way I am, it's because I'm running soft tubing, not hard. I'm going to be running the black EK matte tubing, because I've previously been running, so in the past I've been running this really nice lime green Primo Chill tubing, but it's really hard, and it's starting to show its age a bit. So even though the stuff is clean, because I basically just used distilled water with a bit of biocide in. I never run any dyes in my loops, pretty much because I want to keep the water cooling parts that I've got for as long as possible, and I don't want to cause corrosion. So it means I can also usually keep my tubing for a long time as well, because it doesn't get all nasty inside of it. And then I flush it out as well. It means my radiators stay clean as well. But yeah, so my goal is to have like the only green accents left is going to be the green. I've got a little bit of green tubing up the back there. That's my fill port basically. So it'll be like the green accents on the plugs here, black tubing, the white radiators, and then the RGB setup in this is going to pretty much be a mixture of like purple, I think. So the lighting, I think the LED lighting in here is going to be purple, like a UV sort of purple. And then there's just going to be the green accents from that. So yeah, what do you guys think? A bit of a crazy loop design, but it's like the best I could do with this radiator configuration and the limited space that I've got in here. Oh, but if you're wondering why this radiator is like at a bit of an angle, that's the only thing I don't like about these radiators. Is the ports here that are like, because this is like a multi-port design. These plastic plugs sit up higher than the level of this, which means that they always interfere with the flat part of the case, so there's like a lip there. I really wish they didn't have that offset like that. They were actually flush with that, because it would make mounting these radiators so much more case friendly. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll show you a video at a later date when it's all fixed and all together and running. See you soon.